last friendly before the season. What are your main thoughts coming off of it?
Yes, week 5. At moments we saw what we wanted out of the team, a lot of fluidity, the collective awareness and understanding. It could have been better. It will be better, and only the games that we played together are going to give us the ability to keep getting better game after game. Where we're standing today in week 5 is it's very good. I think we're on the right track, and like I said before, we just need more minutes together. We need to start competing together as a unit, and getting that collective awareness. It's going to be key into what we want to do in the future.
Huge turnover this season from the last. How are the new players gelling with what's left of the old guard?
Yes, well, just what you saw today, right? So there's moments of greatness. There's moments that we all very happy because we see that collective awareness and understanding. And there's other moments that is not clicking. So it's part of the process, right? It's part of the process that we chose to take. Like I said to you on week 5, I know we're standing on the right track. We're very happy with where we at, but we understand that our ceiling is very far from where we are today. We're in a good spot, and we got to keep pushing forward.
On that first goal, the one where you moved it side to side, you were really patient, and then you just went with the ball over the top to Trejo, the finish from Arteaga. Is that what you're looking for? Is that almost like one of the perfect pictures of how you guys want to play?
Yes, absolutely. It's not a secret for anybody, right? We're going to be a possession-oriented team that wants to move the ball with tempo, that wants to make sure that we can move the opposition from side to side and create spaces that we can exploit. Once we do that, and this is what I was talking in the beginning, there's moments that you see those things, you're like, okay, this is a phase that we want to adopt, this is our DNA, this is our identity, and it's very clear. But in order for that identity to become stronger and close to the peak that we want it, because it's not going to be perfect, but close to as good as it can get, we need minutes. We need minutes together. We need to start competing, and preseason is a different beast than when the regular season starts. Once the regular season starts, and there's games, there's points on the table, and then you're competing, and every decision you make, it matters. You're going to see a different face as well, which is when the guys are competing. And like I said before, we scouted players that fit the game model, but we scouted a lot of character, and these are guys that have won in the past and understand what it takes to win, to compete through a very long season, and the season for us starts next week.
So now that switch is flipped from preseason to regular season, how you manage the emotions and make sure that they stay focused and they're ready to do what they need to do on Saturday?
Yes, we managed this last week as if we got both weeks together because we're traveling to the east, so we're not going to have a full week of training because we're traveling on Thursday. So for us, I told the guys they had to be switched on last Monday when we got back from Mexico, and then we started training on Tuesday, and for us Tuesday was game week. Today we are on game week. We wanted to make sure that we can test some of the stuff that we've been training in the sessions. We test some of the stuff that we've seen on video, and the good thing about today is that today was good. It wasn't perfect, and there's things to get better at that are part of the process. And then the video for today and what happened today is going to give us the ability to fix and solve situations that must be fixed before we get started.
Well, looking at today specifically, the way the team came out in the second half was probably one of the most mentally slow spells we've seen this preseason. What do you think was behind that?
I don't know. I think we were not clear when we had to connect passes, and that, it was one mistake after the other, and then the guys fell into that spell that it wasn't good enough. And listen, I'm not going to take credit away from GCU or the coaches or the players. I think they came out with a lot of energy. They did a good job, and it wasn't just our mistakes. I also think the way they came out in the second half was full of intensity, and they knew what they wanted to do, and it worked. It worked for a few minutes. Then we made a few substitutions and we adapted to the way they were pressing, and then we were able to pin them back again. So again, this is what preseason is for. It's make sure that you test the things that you have worked on in training sessions. What happened today starting in the second half is very good. I don't see it as something bad. It gives us now the ability to switch to make sure that we work on the things that we need to get better. And just like I told you, if they change the way they press from the first half to the second half, it shouldn't take us 10 minutes to figure it out. Once we figure it out, we were able to be ourselves again, but we have to do it faster now and quicker. Only games are going to give us the ability to get better and do those things.
Juan, ¿algún jugador en particular que haya sobresalido más de lo esperado en esta pretemporada?
Carlos Anguiano. Carlos Anguiano ha sido uno de los mejores jugadores que hemos tenido en la pretemporada. Es un jugador que siempre te da lo mismo, vaya a jugar o no vaya a jugar, y para mí estoy sumamente orgulloso y feliz de tenerlo.
90 minutes for Rocco today. Presumably, then he's the goalkeeper going into the season.
We'll see. We'll see. Today we're trying to put a squad that most likely can go next week. Just like I said to you, for me it's hard to say. Who are going to be the back three, or the back five, or the back four next week? Because we have a team that has a lot of depth. We have a team that we have the ability to throw in different players on the field and still have the same face, the same identity, the same DNA. So we will see next week. It's absolutely a short race for everyone. There's a few injuries still that we're going to have to adapt and make sure that that we can be the best team we can be next week, even with those injuries and national team duties. But again, we're happy to where we are today on week 5. This is a process, and it's just part of the route that we decided to take, and we're happy to where we're standing today.
About the back three, when the opponent was building today, you guys would often drop into like a 4-4-2 block, and Fuenmayor would slide over into that right back spot. Is that something you think he can handle athletically?
Yes, absolutely. I think him or anybody in the back 5 can do that. Listen, if it's a back 4 like it was today at moments, we shift the center back out there and can do it. We can also bring a wing back or a winger to do those roles. Maybe a midfielder. It's all depending on who we're going to play. If you ask me who we're playing next week, and then I'll have a better idea how we want to attack them and how we want to defend them. It's thinking about what the opposition is doing and how, with what we have, with our identity, without losing who we are, how can we hurt them and find ways to be successful.
You mentioned national team duty. Should we expect to see Kev going off then to the Jamaican friendlies?
We will see. Listen, at the end of the day, I hope that every one of our players gets the opportunity to represent the national team. That's one of the highest honors that you could have as an athlete, and every time the national team calls, we should be happy, even though that we might lose players, and we understand that. At the end of the day, I'm happy for all of my players every time that phone call arrives.